Welcome to the Black Delegates podcast. Today's date is August the 26th. This is episode 29. Episode 29. I'm coming in with an NPR-like vibe in case NPR would like to pick us up. We can't come in too hot because they might think that we're not for their demographic. So let's do something a little calmer today, fellas. I am the Black Ryan. I am here with Boxwine Poppy and Ghetto Phenom. How are you fellas doing today?
Man, I'm about to fall asleep at that terrible intro, man. Do that over again.
I'm not doing it over.
I'm going to change my name for this episode. I'm going to be the Suburban Phenom.
Oh, I like it. Suburban Phenom. Let's do this. All right. So, fellas, it's been a whole week. It's been a long week for me. So, let's start off with some house cleaning stuff. 5-star reviews. I have fell asleep on the 5-star reviews. We did get one that I wanted to address. This is from back in July 26th by J. Irv Gotti. He gave us 4 stars. It says, pretty black podcast. All right.
Pretty black.
We are pretty black.
He must have listened to the episode when I was out. So.
He said, love how the 3 hosts play off one another and stay focused on black happenings and issues around the country. All right. So we appreciate the review.
Yeah, appreciate
only 4
it.
stars. Only 4, but that's okay. Like I said, I'll take a 4. I'm going to try to earn that 1. We're going to work hard to get that 1. Yeah. We're going to work hard and try to get that 1. So, all of you all out there, be like J. Irv Gotti and find somebody with iTunes, have them sign in for you, and then go in, rate the Black Delegates podcast. We want to get up in the reviews so we can get some traction on the podcast. But we appreciate your time and effort it took to give us a review. Thanks a lot.
Show.
But from there, let's go straight into this weekend, fellas. I have devised a new way of doing this. So that, because Ishmael said that I never go first. So are you ready? This is the randomizer. I'm pressing it now. Go.
Or you could have just went first and saved it.
I'm not. I'm just going to keep hitting the randomizer though until it don't say I go first. Paul, how was your weekend, Brownness?
My week was pretty boring, man. Didn't do too much. It was a Carlton Banks type weekend. Funny thing that happened today. My wife and I, we've been together for a long time. So, we've had this run. She has this running kind of, off and on debate with me about how she says I snore. And I am adamant that I do not snore. And I don't know if you guys are like me, fellas, but, I don't believe that I do snore at all.
Oh, stop.
Every now and then, maybe, if I'm perched up high on the pillow or whatever like that, maybe you catch me snoring. And I can see that to her. But I was like, I don't snore usually. But then last night, for whatever reason, I got the kid to bed. Came back into our bedroom. It was searching around the internet or whatever like that, and then finally fell asleep. But my wife decided she had had enough, so she got the phone out and she decided to record me.
There you go.
There you go.
Easy way.
And look, did not even wait to hit me with it this morning when she first woke up. Did not wait to hit me up at noon, just randomly at 5:30 in the evening tonight. She wanted to play it for me, and oh man, I was embarrassed. So I was snoring so bad, and I was like, oh god, so yeah, I'm looking into breathe right strips, whatever I can, man, to get rid of this, because I was like, oh man, I didn't know it was that bad, man. So she was like, she was like, I could not sleep last night. You were so terrible, and so she had to get me on my back or like that. So I was like, oh, until I shut up. But yeah, man. So apparently I'm a snorer, man. So I learned that about myself today. I'd always denied this, but now, 30-some odd years later, I finally figured out that I'm a snorer. So I'm depressed about that. And man, what else did I do? Oh, I went and played football today. So that was awesome.
What?
Yeah, man, went and played. So look, I live near a school, an elementary school, and there's always this group of like Middle Eastern dudes that's always out there every Sunday playing football.
Are you talking European football or American football?
Man,
I'm not sure. You gotta specify now the way you described it. Which one is it?
American football.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah, man. So anyway, there's a group of dudes out there. They must meet up every Sunday. So I see him out there, and I go for my jogs, or sometimes I have the kid because, like I said, there's an elementary school over there where my kid goes to, and so sometimes I'll be out there on the playground with him. So I kind of see him, and I'm kind of check him out of the corner of my eye, like, oh, okay, like that, And it seemed like it's a pretty steady group. But these dudes are like all Middle Eastern, man. There's some hot cars. I mean, I think one dude literally has a Ferrari out there. So I'm like, man, okay. You know, I've been seeing them out there for like a year, but they come out there pretty consistently. Like maybe not during the summers, but during the fall, they're out there like every Sunday playing early in the morning. So whatever. So like today, I just happened to be out there, and I was going by, and they were like, hey, hey, we could we could use an extra person. So I came on out there. And was playing, and I got into I didn't have the right shoes, so I ran back to the house and got some better shoes on and stuff like that. But so playing, man, I think I did all right, but I definitely was sore afterwards. Man, I just haven't played football in so long, so it was just flag football and stuff like that. But then they brought in some other dudes that came out there later on, because at first I thought it was gonna be like 5-on-5. I was like, okay, this is kind of small. But then, man, they got up to like it was 11-on-11 out there. I was like, man, okay. So they were playing.
Did you score any touchdowns though?
I did not score any touchdowns. I got really close. I think I got like to the 40-yard line, and then the next pass was into the end zone. So I showed off my little moves. I had my little repertoire. But at this point in my age, man, I'm just happy I didn't blow anything, blow a knee out, nothing like that, man. That's really it. But yeah, I got a good block on one dude. Had a few good catches. Yeah, man, it was cool, man. It was interesting. So I might go out there and do it again. But yeah, man, play a little football today. So that was kind of exciting for me. Haven't done that in a while. So
I did get hurt played since we played in Memphis.
Probably. No, there was a few times like in Nashville and stuff like that. We'd go play and stuff like that. Yeah. But man, it's been at least 10 years since I played any. No, I take it back. The one Thanksgiving I played in the hood. I played in the hood in Thanksgiving one year, like 3-4 years ago, in Tennessee, my wife's hometown. I went deep into the hood there, and I know I look weird as hell. Everybody was like, "What is he doing out there?"
Did you have your bandana on?
I did not have no bandana on, which made me look even crazier because it was thuggish ruggish out there at that school we went to, and oh yeah. Anyway, they were just kind of like people didn't know what to expect of me, but I'm in shape, so like they look at me and they're like, oh, that dude can run, and that's the thing, I could just run all day, so I don't ever get tired. So hey, put me on a deep route, next one put me on a deep route, I'm good. I can do that all day long.
Get tired.
Don't get tired. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna jump over top of you and leap up here and do some super acrobatic anymore, but I can run all day long, so I can keep up with the best of them on that. Anyway, what's up with you guys?
Well, I got two questions for you, one about each of your topics. So first, we're gonna start with the football one. I want to know, and be honest with us now. Did you get knocked out and have to be revived via the African revival methods?
He would never admit it.
That's a little inside joke.
It was an inside joke, man. Some video ish sent around today. Some dudes. It was a street boxing. Oh man, that was so crazy. But yeah, no, I have never been knocked out. I did not get knocked out today. I've definitely had a concussion from football when I played in high school. I definitely had a concussion one time. I know that, or at least after the fact, I knew that. But no, nobody reached into my pants, took my pants down, started yanking around or anything. The part, so look, so what are we talking about? Because we ain't got much topics.
Just talk about it.
Yeah, let's go. Man, so that video, the first thing I thought was like, when you sent it to me, I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, so the dude got, I'm just like, okay, street boxing or whatever like that, but big crowd. I'm like, okay, whatever. And the dude gets knocked out. I'm like, okay. And then what I'm looking at was like how they just manhandled that man's neck when he got cold cocked and he's out, and they just picked that man's neck off the ground. I'm like, that is like not the way you should be doing this. I thought the man's like neck was gonna be broken because how they just picked him up like that. So at first I was like, okay, that's what Ish wants to see. I was like, okay, yeah, that's kind of crazy. Whatever. I'm ready to turn this link off. Then I just keep watching, and then I start seeing him take the pants down. I'm like, oh, they're trying to roll him. My brain is like, oh, they're trying to roll him. They're trying to, he's out cold. These folks come out the crowd. They try and take his money. I was like, okay, that's wild too. But I guess I can dig that or whatever like that. Then the third part is the part we were talking about where they playing with his business. And I'm like, man,
yes,
what is
y'all,
going on?
they are literally playing with this man's junk, pouring water on his face. They're waterboarding him, and I guess they figured like, hey, one way or another, he gonna wake up.
I don't understand. Like, You trying to get blood back to his head? You trying to get blood to his pet? What is going on here, fam? I'm like,
that was crazy. We'll link it in the show notes, so definitely check out that video because it's just wild.
That was one of the better videos of the week for sure.
So the second question I have is about the snoring. I don't understand why people always deny snoring.
My wife.
People need that proof sometimes, to where you have to have indisputable proof for it. And I want to know, Paul, when are you getting your CPAP machine, and are you going to share that with the listeners? We need a photo of you once you get your sleeping machine with the little oxygen mask covering. I need to see that.
Man, I'm not gonna get the Bane outfit to go to sleep. I'm not gonna do that. Although if I sound cool like that, I might have to pull it out, man. But yeah, I might have to look into some surgery or something like that. But I don't know, man. I honestly just never believed it. I remember my mom telling me that, like my sister and me both snore when we were kids, and we were like, whatever, we don't believe that.
Hey, but why do people that snore don't believe it? I mean, if somebody's telling you snoring, you snoring. They're not gonna make it up.
Who gonna make that up as a lie?
My wife tells me, "Hey, you snore." Sorry, babe. When I'm really tired, I know I snore. Now, her on the other hand, she be snoring sometimes when she's really tired. But I say, "Hey, you snoring? Turn over." I am not snoring. You ain't heard no snoring come out of my mouth. One time I recorded her, played the recording back, and she said, "That was not me." She said it wasn't her. To this day, she still denies it. I recorded you.
That's how I go. Hey, my wife beat the game. She knows it because I started snoring, I don't know, a little while ago. I think it's probably, they say people, you gain a little weight, you snore.
Eating at 11:30 p.m.
And so, so my wife, she just wears some earplugs. So that way, she good to go.
See, I think that my wife gets me on this because, man, when she sleeps on her side. And see, I prefer to sleep on my stomach, but it always messes up my neck. And so I've been trying to really focus on my my posture over the last couple of years. Focus on because man, if I sleep on I like sleep on my stomach, but if I sleep on my stomach, man, usually my neck is just tore up, my back is messed up, and if I go work out, then it'll make it worse. So I always try to be really conscious of that. And so usually when I go in there and if I do go sleep, I try to sleep purposely on my back straight up. And that leads to me snoring. When it does, I think that's what causes it. Me snoring, sleeping straight on my back. That if I sleep on my side, I'm cool. If I sleep on my stomach, I'm cool. But if I sleep on my back, I guess that's what I'm thinking. That's what's causing it. So I don't know. I just got to figure it out.
Tell your wife just to hit you with that hard elbow on the side when you snore. You'll wake up and turn. Everything will be good. Right. So.
I'm sitting on the couch from now on.
What's the next randomizer? Who's the next person on your randomizer?
I'm gonna go next so you can go last so I can stop hearing about it. All right. So
but you still didn't go first. That was the whole complaint. So you
I'll go first next week.
Make
sure you remind me. Make sure you remind me to go first next week.
With the randomizer. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I just kept pressing it until it said Paul. So my weekend brownness was Gabrielle Union because it was nice and chocolate. Nice and chocolate this week. Got a chance to, where I want to start at? Friday night, of course, got a chance to watch some movies. Kids getting a little older, so I can say, hey, y'all go in your rooms. We don't want to be bothered. Get out. And I can, feel safe that they're okay. So got a chance to watch some movies. I watched Gabrielle Union's Breaking In. Actually was a good movie. I was surprised. It was real good. Because, Gabby, she usually plays the snarky black woman role. The snarky, cute black chick on every movie. But this time she got a chance to show us a little fear. She was a little crying, a little anger. So I liked it. So she got a chance to do quite a bit in that movie. So if y'all see that somewhere, check it out. Also watched, I watched Paid in Full. Paid in Full. I had never seen Paid in Full ever in my life. But as you know, Paul, what's his name, is always talking about it.
Oh yeah, on the other podcast.
On the back-to-back podcast. And so Jade. And so I keep saying when I see it somewhere, I'm gonna watch it. It was on Netflix. So I'm like, I asked my wife, have you seen this? She's like, no. I'm like, let's watch it. I watched it. Also pretty good. Yeah,
it's a true story. It was based on a true story. I mean, it's like kind of a legendary, New York, kind of, hood story. But yeah, man, it's kind of wild.
You got to get some type of probation, like maybe just 24-hour probation that you ain't seen paid in full before now.
Dude,
that's a
my rule is I don't watch gangster movies. I hate them. I don't want to watch no drug dealer movies either, so I'm out. So that's just how it is. If I was like, oh, what is it about? Oh, dealing drugs, I'm out. So that's how it goes.
Who did you think was a better actor, Cameron or Noriega in the movie?
Cameron was cold because Cameron was just Cameron. I was like, oh man, this movie need to be about Cam. Like they need to do well, he's dead now, so they can't do that. Spoilers, but or in jail. Maybe when he gets out, maybe they should just do Paid in Full Part 2 and just have Cam take back the streets.
You know, every now and then I get on little ghetto tangents and I look up stuff on the internet, and that dude is supposed to be either getting out, he's already just got out recently, or he's getting out soon, but you know, he's like in the witness protection program or something like that, so there might be a part 2 to this coming.
Are those like Dame's people that he was slanging with or something?
No, man, this is just like a famous crew up in Uptown. So this is Rich Porter is the dude's real name. If you Google Rich Porter, that's the guy that got killed. So that's Mekhi Phifer's character, and then I forget the person that's but then the third dude, his name's Alpo. So and you hear him like on some raps, like if you hear like
I heard.
If you hear like Nas talks about Alpo and Illmatic, there's a couple other parts that talk about Alpo, and that's the Cameron character. But he doesn't get killed. He goes down to DC and gets involved with some big time drug running down there, and then stuff goes and he goes to jail, blah blah. Anyway, but he was the one that kind of set the whole story off. So like you just have to look at all that stuff like that.
Same old drug dealing story then. Yes, that's why I don't watch drug
No. The whole end part, man, that's with the kid, the brother and all that, man, that stuff really happened, and that's some wild stuff, man. That's okay. It's a really interesting story. You got to look into it, man.
Okay, I'll check it out. Then I guess the other movie I watched was Till Death Do Us Part. It was stupid. I'm not, I'm out on that. I don't even want to talk about it. But did have a chance to. We had a thing at church Saturday morning. So that was pretty black. Invited the people out. It was quote unquote a pray day, but we gave everybody prayer, had some hot dogs, played some games, played some black volleyball, because we all know black volleyball is different from regular volleyball in the sense of don't nobody in black volleyball set up nothing. There is no set or bump, set, spike. It's just get the ball over the net. And that's just what everybody was doing. It's like two people that are actually athletic. Everybody else is trash. Those people run around, and you just got to try to keep the ball to the other side of the net, and that's it. So I don't know if y'all ever play a black volleyball.
With a menthol while you're holding a menthol cigarette in your mouth while you're playing.
Nobody at the church thing had a menthol, but yeah.
Black and Miles, Paul. Black and Miles.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Hey, look, man. I found a Black and Mild in my yard from our relatives.
Still there?
They just tossed them. Man, how you gonna come to my house, just eat my food, stay in my house, and then toss your Black and Miles like up under the tree line, man? Come on, man. Anyway,
it's pretty black.
That's pretty black, man. So
how was your week, Ishmael?
My week was pretty solid. Let's see. My week was actually pretty boring, pretty tame, pretty mild, but
hey man, we gotta get with you beforehand so we can start getting you a person, a shade of brownness or blackness, so that we can really stick.
Paul
with
didn't name his either, so
yes, I did.
Yes, he did.
Who'd you say?
I said Carlton Banks, man. Don't come with me with that. I do it every week.
Me and Paul
man.
do it every week. You gotta get on board, man. Are you part of the show or not?
Yeah. So anyway, for my week in blackness, I got a story, because not a lot happened. I did go to see Black Klansman last night, and I thought that was pretty good. It was interesting. There were a couple parts that were too long. I feel like Spike Lee could have cut that down by about 15 minutes, 20 minutes. But overall, it was a good movie, so I was glad to see that. But my partner's daughter has it out for me. Like, she trying to get your boy killed, man.
What?
And yeah, I almost had a hit on my head. And what happened is, actually, I think I shared with y'all in the group chat, but I'll share with the listeners too. So earlier this week, I'm at work. I'm chilling, working. See a text on my phone, And my homie's telling me that his young daughter, she's about 3 years old, told him, you know what? You are not my daddy. And he's like, okay, all right. Yeah, well, who's your real daddy then? And she yelled out, Uncle Ish!
Oh, no.
So he's sending out the group chat. And, of course, he's sending out in good fun. But I'm like, you never know, man. Daughter could be trying to start some smoke. She's dry. She's putting thoughts into his head. Now he's probably looking at me every time I come to his house, wondering why she would say that. Her big sister told her, no, don't say that. Don't say that. But now I feel like I got this man going to be looking at me sideways every time I see him. All because his daughter.
Yes, he will, because he can try to pretend like he played it off like it was nothing, but anytime anything come up that might be, if you come out the kitchen and he wasn't in there, he going to be like, what this nigga doing in my kitchen?
Right.
Every single time.
Yeah, man. So I got a target on my back, but you know what? It's all to the good. I am not the father. I think I will take a DNA test to prove that. But your boy is under the spotlight right now. So that was my week in black.
This reminds me, next time I go to Mexico, I need to look around, find some of these kids from Ish's time down there in the Mexican developmental league. I'm sure there's a few little Ish's running around down there.
Like
6'2", dark-skinned Mexican kids named Ish Jr. running around dunking on folks, eating at 2 a.m, eating tacos at 2 a.m.
No say.
Hey, but Ish, I did have one thing for you.
What were they calling you down there in the Mexican League? I know you had a nickname. What was the nickname?
I didn't have a nickname. I wasn't in the Mexican League, man. I just
you played in the game.
You played
in the Mexican League championship game, though.
They probably called me El Negro. It's like a black dude that's dunking on everybody. However you say that in Spanish, that's what they call me.
Hey, but Ish, I did have one. So I did have one thing I wanted to mention to you. I forgot about this. So yesterday, got up early. Wife and kids still asleep. Come downstairs. Put on a little Netflix. I couldn't, again, my age-old problem with Netflix. Couldn't find anything to watch. So somewhere in the back of my head, I recall Ish recommending telling me to watch something called Terrace House.
Terrace House.
I put this mess on. Dog. What in the hell? First of all, you watch way too much reality TV. Every time Ish recommends a show to me, it's something reality-based. It's either the black dudes down in Mexico playing hooping, or it's some weird Japanese reality show. And so this is what Terrace House was. I watched the first episode. I couldn't make it past the first episode.
Which one? Which season did you watch, though? Which one?
God, I don't know. I guess the one for Netflix. It was the one for Netflix.
But there's Aloha State. There's
it was the one in Japan. It was
Boys and Girls.
No.
This dude that watched all
what
different
is it? Boys and Girls something.
Yeah, no, it's not Boys and Girls. It's not Aloha State. It was
Opening New Doors.
Opening New Doors, yeah. Okay. So it was like but look, fam, why do they walk in the house? And so like one dude's a professional skateboarder snowboarder, and one chick's a hockey player. Why they come in with the hockey stick in their hand and the snowboard in there? And I was like, that is the dumbest ice break. I was like, this is not real. This is the dumbest thing in the world.
Because they're moving in, like they're literally moving into that house, so they have to bring all their stuff. So why would they not bring it in?
No, the one girl like lived in the town, she said, but she was like, I gotta bring my hockey stick. It's like not even cold outside. Like, what are you doing coming there with the hockey stick? But anyway,
dude, because they live and they moved. Anyway. She moved out of her house and moved into that house, so they have to live.
Fam, do not defend it.
Give me
do not
3
defend
episodes.
It. Do not defend it.
Episodes. If you don't like it after 3 episodes, then it's all good. But give it 3. Give it 3.
All right, I got through 0.6 of this one. Look, and let me tell you the part where I turned it off. So they sitting there, they talking, they meeting up with each other and stuff. Then they take a little tour of the house. Then like just like the real world shows back in the day, they decide like what bedroom. But they don't really have separate bedroom. They just got one bedroom for the girls, one bedroom for the dudes.
Right.
And they have like these little cubicles, and they like try and decide like, okay, well, who's gonna get the top one and who's gonna get the one over here, blah blah. These dudes, it's 3 dudes. One dude's 31 years old. One dude's like 22. Another dude's like 19. But these are grown men, dog. They sitting up in there with panda bear teddy bears and talking about like matching ones and sleeping with them. Oh, no. I was out, man. I turned that thing off right now. I was like, dog. I was like, I'm out, dog.
Just give it 3 episodes.
Man, there better be, hey, real talk. There better be something like.
Why wouldn't he just start with the first 2016 season? Because the one you told me to watch is not Open Doors.
No, that's the boys and girls something. I can't remember the full name, but that's the first one.
Like that.
Unless there's graphic nudity in the next 2 episodes, I'm out, dog. I'm just letting you know. Unless there is extreme graphic nudity, I am not watching this mess ever again, and I'm never listening to another ish suggestion on a reality show.
Gotta give it 3 episodes.
All right,
but all right, let's go ahead. Let's move on, Ryan. What do we got on the agenda for today?
All right, first news story is breaking news from, was it this morning? Or was it late yesterday?
Yeah.
I feel like it was this morning. Yeah. This morning, there was a mass shooting in Jacksonville, Florida, where a shooter attacked fellow players at a Madden tournament down in, like I said, in Jackson, Florida. A 24-year-old fatally shot himself as well as several others. How many people were killed? It said 11. Is that right?
No, it keeps going down. It keeps going down. Now
the last I saw was 3. Oh, it said 2.
Yeah. It said CNN says 2 now. So they were saying 4 earlier, and then they said 3. Now they said, so it's weird. Like usually with these things, it always goes up, but here it's going down, which is kind of crazy. But I guess that's good, actually.
Yeah. So apparently, there was a gaming bar down there inside of a Chicago Pizza. They were having a tournament. It was a nationwide tournament, so people were coming over from all over the place. And ultimately, they would play in Vegas for a first place prize of $125,000. And this was one of the first qualifying events or whatever to start playing. And apparently, things went sideways.
Yeah, it sounds like it, man. It sounds like the dude just lost, and he had a few screw loose, and obviously had access to weapons, and just can't win. Just like we joked about, a few episodes ago when we were talking about basketball and hooping, and dudes going to the trunk and pulling things out. But this dude really did it. The crazy thing in the video is, like we were talking about before the call, before we started recording, was this dude had infrared scopes on these guns, man. He was using them, and I guess it was a little dark in there where the dudes were playing. So he went out to the car, came back in. He must have had this all. So I don't know. It kind of makes me wonder, like, was this all just spur of the moment or planned out? Because the dude is not from Florida. They say he's from Baltimore. Obviously, he had to drive. He must have driven down there to bring his guns down there. So part of me thinks this probably was all premeditated. And this was just kind of his way of like, hey, either I'm going to win this tournament or I'm going to go out like this, which is sick. I don't know, man. It's going to be a lot more stuff to come. But of course, we can't rush to judgment. We have to we can't decide what was it mental health? Was it this? Was his parents didn't hug him enough? Blah, blah. No, man, just get these guns up out of here.
Mental health. We can always say it's mental health because it always is. If you decide that you're going to shoot people that are not shooting at you, you got a mental health issue. What do you think, Ishmael?
I mean, yes, do I think most of those people have mental health issues? Yes, but that doesn't mean that you're insane or that you shouldn't go to trial. Yeah, there's a difference between, not being fit to understand what you're doing or to stand trial or whatever. I know we had that other mass shooting case where the shooter just got deemed unfit for trial, so now he's going into basically a mental ward for a while, and they say they're going to try to get him back to where he is fit and can stand trial.
Was that the Waffle House shooter?
Yes. Yeah, that was a Waffle House shooter. This just happened in the day. We don't know full details, so I don't like to go into deep conversations because by the time this airs, things may be different. But again, this was a guy who played in the tournament, who, was a gamer, and got mad that he lost and came back and started shooting. And what's crazy about it is, not to racialize everything, but a lot of times with these mass shooters, it's people of the majority, but yet when you look at like the FBI, what did they do? They labeled black identity extremist. They had this group where they're surveilling Black Lives Matter and they're surveilling people who were like marching for peace. And the FBI has a microscope on them, but all these shooters that are coming out, these mass shooters, number one, they're not watching them, and number two, nothing gets done about it. I mean, that's the sad thing. After Parkland, I figured if nothing happened after Parkland, like nothing's just going to happen, at least not right now. So hopefully the younger generation that's coming up and beginning to vote, they will make this a key issue because the people in power right now, the Republicans, they're not going to do anything about it.
Yeah. So of course, there's video of it. At least they were live streaming the event, and the game. While the game was going on, you can hear the gunshots ring out, and you hear screams in the background. And apparently, one of the guys that was featured in that particular scene may have lost his life, as far as we understand. So definitely want to send out condolences. Yeah, just want to send out condolences to everybody involved in that, man. It's messed up, and just seeing people's tweets and stuff like that, and a couple of people that survived. One guy said he was lucky because it only hit his thumb and things like that. But it could have been a lot worse than even it was. First of all, I don't know what's so serious about you losing the Madden game, dog. If anybody that's played Madden before, you gonna find somebody that's way colder at Madden than you. Don't you have Xbox Live? Like, you probably gonna lose quite a bit if you playing anybody. But yeah, that's just the world we live in. People can't handle nothing.
Yeah, what happened to throwing the controller? Like,
right, that used to be the worst of it.
Like, all right,
right.
But you got to straight go and get a gun and shoot. And some of the gamers I know were mad because they said that I guess there wasn't adequate security up there.
But how much security can you have?
What kind of security for a guy with laser pointers? Come on, man.
Before a Madden tournament, though, it's a Madden tournament. I shouldn't need no security for that, man. Come in here and play the game and go home, dog. That's it. That's all we came here for.
You shouldn't need security, but it's clear that the climate right now in America, like, no place is safe. They shooting up churches. They shooting up Waffle Houses. They shooting up gaming events. Anywhere can get shot up. So it's like, if you putting on any type of public event, we just can't expend security everywhere. We just can't. Exactly. But what you can do is what? Do some type of gun
about
control.
The guns.
Like,
all I know is I know back in the day I definitely tossed one of Ryan's controllers after a fit of rage in Madden against him. And I know he definitely gave me
some of your fake Cowboys.
Yeah, I know he definitely. No, I use. Come on now. First of all, I did not use the Cowboys back then. I used the Broncos. Thank you very much. It was Ed McCaffrey.
Got it on tape.
Torching you every single time.
We got it on tape, but go ahead.
But yeah, Ryan definitely looked at me like crazy, like, you better pick that up. I picked it back up. I'm not crazy.
All right. Guess
we're going to move on from that one. We'll follow up with it if anything interesting comes out of it, but we couldn't just let a podcast go by and we don't talk about it. So what we got next on the agenda? All right, so a little bit of an easier topic. No black cat suits allowed. So the French Open has, after Serena Williams wore a tightly fitted black cat suit in her last tournament, the French Open says, oh, no, we can't have that kind of thickness around here. And so they have now instituted some type of a rule or a law that you cannot wear those outfits. Did y'all get a chance to read this story or see her explanation about why she was wearing it?
Yeah, I read the story. That is why I clicked on the link. It had nothing to do with the photo of Serena Williams in a cat suit. I just read every word in the story. So that is why I clicked on it. That is why it's in my favorites. Yeah, that's all I got to say. Paul?
Okay. Yeah, man, like I don't know. I'm kind of mixed on this, man. Like Wimbledon has a dress code, and so like it's just some places have it. Tennis is a little different, just weird. I mean, like other sports have it too. Like the Yankees, man, they make you can't have no facial hair on the Yankees. I mean, I kind of get that back in the 70s or 80s or something like that, but like it's 2018. Like, why do you guys care? These dudes have facial hair. But hey, you just know that, like, you sign up, like, okay, when I go play for the Yankees, I could have a goatee. I could have a goatee in my other team, but here I can't do that. I gotta have a mustache, a clean mustache at the most. That's it. And then you go over here to the Wimbledon, and they make you wear all white. Now I don't know if they have a restriction on cat suits being all white, but they you got to wear all white. Everything got to be white shirt, white shoes, white shorts,
all white, huh?
All white, everything. So like. I don't. The article that was sent doesn't really get into like the mind state of why they put a dress code into the French Open. Could it be solely because of Serena? I guess.
Oh, it is.
Which is unfortunate. I mean, like I saw the outfit. It didn't. I mean,
Paul,
look,
if Maria Sharapova were wearing this catsuit, would anybody care?
I think so, because you be looking at that pancake booty. Who wants to see pancake booty out there, man? Come on now.
But would it be outlawed though? They might be like,
No, she'd be on the front of French Open magazine.
Look, first of all, Maria Sharapova ain't gonna be out there now. Like Anna Kournikovas out there in the catsuit. I say, okay, but. Yeah, anyway, man, but it don't. First of all, like as I've said in many previous podcasts, I am team all booty meat. So like I'm good with the catsuit. I don't have no problem with it. But man, you ain't hiding that thing on Serena. She can wear whatever skirt she wants. You're gonna see that thing from outer space. So it don't matter, man. Ain't nothing hiding that.
Right.
They can put whatever dress code. It ain't gonna matter. And she probably gonna win anyway. So who cares, man? But I love the French Open. Well, actually, that's my favorite. That's my favorite tennis tournament in the world.
Well, here's my thoughts about that. So number one, the president basically admitted that he was changing the rule because of Serena. He said that, his quote was, "I think sometimes we've gone too far." And I think in subsequent interviews, he said that really was the difference in where he feels like he needs to make a change because he doesn't want people to come out in that. So Serena's the reason they're changing it. There's really no doubt about that. And the difference,
she's worn that suit somewhere else before, I think. I've seen it before.
I don't know if she's worn that, but she does wear the what do you call it? I don't know, like the bodysuit sometimes, or she'll wear tights, or she'll wear compression material because she's had that problems with blood clots. She almost died after she gave birth. So part of this was like literally a medical reason, which makes it even more odd that you're going to take that stand. But secondly, the difference between that and Wimbledon has had those rules forever. They've had those old archaic rules. A lot of the players don't necessarily like them, but it is what it is. It's been that way. So Wimbledon, you can kind of get a pass because this is how it's been. With the French Open, they're in 2018, and then they're trying to change and go backwards. They're trying to say, you can't wear this. You're too sexy. You're showing off too much. I mean, that's the reasoning behind it. When, like Ryan said, if it's a different player that's wearing it, then they're not going to have that same reaction or that same issue. So I think it's silly. It's unnecessary. Let them women go out there and be comfortable and do what they do.
What they want to wear.
When you look at biking, I'm sure the French cycling contest was everybody wear those little bodysuits.
Would they put some sweatpants on? Maybe I'll watch some biking, but I don't want to see them in them Speedos.
So I'm scrolling through Twitter, and I guess like they're pulling up a video. There's a picture from a chick from the 1985. I don't know if it's at the French Open or not, but she wore a white catsuit, and it doesn't have the same appeal as Serena wearing the catsuit in 2008.
Imagine that. So I found it funny that a sport which allows women to wear literally like the shortest skirts of all time, where they have little panties underneath that you can see.
And grunt.
Yes, every 5 seconds. They then have a problem with a uniform. That's ridiculous.
It's also kind of wild that it's in France. I mean, it's in Paris, and so like that's where all the the forward fashion, all the designs, and that these you would think are pretty. I mean, you're not going to this tournament if you're poor, more than likely living in Paris. So these are like these are elitist type people. You think they're fashion conscious, things like that, and then they're coming with a restriction, which it just seems so backwards. But hey, they need to be careful because Serena pulls out. I mean, she's the biggest tennis star in the whole world. I mean, okay, maybe Djokovic or some of those dudes, but for women, there's no one close. So I mean, they gotta watch it.
She the GOAT, and we see this often with like women newscasters or whatever, where you see the thick newscaster and people are like, oh, why do they let her dress like that? And they're like, she's wearing the same thing that the other newscasters are wearing. She just fills it out differently. So whenever there are black bodies who, if they're well endowed, then people want to say something and get their panties in the bunch, quote unquote. But I'm not a fan of it. I think it's a silly rule. Serena didn't really seem to care. She said she talked with the president about it. She said everything's cool. It's no problem. So Serena don't care. I guess I had to let it go.
Next year she gonna wear a white one, and we're gonna see what happens.
Yep.
Change the rule again. All right. So I'm sure Serena looked good in the white one too. How about that?
Oh yeah.
All right, so Paul, this next topic is yours.
Oh, we gonna do this one?
The Brat is the broke.
Brat.
What's going on with her?
The Brat is the broke. So everybody knows the rapper the Brat from the 90s, early 2000s. Unfortunately, came out this week that she filed for bankruptcy with over $7 million in debt. A large portion of that $7 million in debt is a judgment against a former cheerleader. I forgot which team she cheered for, but the rapper must have busted her over the head with a bottle during a 2007 nightclub brawl.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
That's crazy, dude.
And so it's crazy that that was 2007 and now it's 2018. She still owes
6.4 from her, yeah.
And
of the 7. That's
basically, that's what's basically forcing. I mean, she'd probably be okay. She'd probably be, coming out okay if she didn't have that judgment against her that's been hanging over her head. So anyway, she filed for bankruptcy, and man, it just kind of symptomatic of a lot of problems. I mean, there's a lot of problems with the music business and how record sales have gone bad, but just always kind of finance is kind of interesting to me, and it just kind of always like, man, kind of hurts my heart when you hear these people like. They were doing good for themselves on top of the world, and then they, something bad like this happens, and then man, you see like a few years later, like it's all gone, man, it's all gone, and it's like how do you recoup, to have a stable life because you didn't really go to school and things like that, and obviously you don't have much assets that you can hold on to, so it's just tough, man. I don't know what do you guys think about this one?
I don't know. I feel like the Brat's gonna be good. I feel like this may be a way to get that judgment over your head, because if you owe whatever $6.4 million, I mean that's a huge thing over your head. But she's still a celebrity. I don't know if she's still on the Ricky Smiley morning show. I know she was on that for a while at least. So I feel like as long as you have a decent amount of celebrity, like you'll be good. I mean, Mike Tyson was a person who blew, whatever, 150, 200 million, 300 million. But he's good now. Like, he still had that celebrity. He was able to leverage that to do some different things. So I think the Brat will be good. I think she probably needs to do this to get that from hanging over her head, but I think she'll be good. She make more money than me. I'm sure of that. So
I'm going to say that I'm going to blame it on the music industry. This is one of those situations where
Jermaine Dupri.
Yeah, where an artist is likely not paid their worth for the product that they're putting out. Like, all her raps that she was doing or features, I don't know what kind of touring she was doing at the time, but you shouldn't be able to say that you were the greatest, one of the greatest rappers of your time, and then for whatever reason, you don't have your $6 million. Because it's not like her expenses on here are ridiculous. It says that she owes 1.25 to Sony Music. Why does she owe Sony Music anything? Sony Music should owe her. I'm pretty sure. Because
you got to recoup, man. That's how it
Look, I don't want to hear nothing about no recouping. These are your business expenses, sir. Yeah. Do you want me to put out this album or not? No artist should be signing on any kind of deal where they have to give any money back to the record label. This is your expense. How much you going to pay me out of it? And give me a percentage. That should be how it works. And one day we got to stand up and say, hey, we're not doing it that way. And if the best way to do it is to go on Tidal and do your own thing, let's go on Tidal then. If it's better for you to put your own music out yourself, put your music out yourself. But at some point we got to stand up and say we're not going to do this, because there's no reason for her to be in debt based on what she's got. She literally has a 99 Mercedes.
Yeah, and I feel like
it's not like she balling out here. She ain't got no Bugattis on this list. She got a 99 Mercedes, a 2014 BMW, and then it's a 328i, which we see all the time on the regular streets. This ain't the big ones. This is the little one. And then she got a Jeep Wrangler. She ain't balling out.
Yeah, I feel like nowadays in the music industry, like you see more of that, because now it's really based more on personality, and there's so many avenues available. 20 years ago, there was no Tidal. 20 years ago, there was no SoundCloud, or there weren't these avenues for people to put themselves out like that. So you had a few people like Master P and No Limit. They were kind of able to do the independent thing. But for the most part, you had to have a label to really get on. The radios wouldn't even play you. Nowadays, with YouTube and all these other avenues I just named, like artists can get on for themselves. That's why I think you're starting to see artists have more, their contracts are just more in their benefit than the label. Now, the label's still getting paid, but they just not bending the people over like they were back in the day. For some
they doing 360 deals now, so they taking all of your money. They taking something from every way that you can get money. They want a piece of it.
Well, they're going to do that. The record labels are still going to do that, but there are people who are able to succeed without that. There are people who are able to get around that. So it's not your only option.
Pretty few and far between, though. So I don't know. It's still a lot of. I still think it's a huge hill to climb to try to do it because they, Chance the Rapper was saying that as far as when that one song, he was like they literally is trying to stop him because he was trying to do his own music. You start trying to blackball people that are working with certain artists and things like that. It's a lot of gangsterism in the music business.
For sure.
Yeah. So just wanted to speak on that. So. Let's see what else we got on here.
You want to talk about Wendy's? Wendy's.
Yeah, let's talk about Wendy's.
All right. Well, we can just make this short and sweet. So, if people don't know, Adrien Broner is a boxer. He's actually a pretty good boxer, but he has a very colorful personality. I guess that's probably the kindest way to put it. He's a bit of a clown, wouldn't you say, Ish?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this week, Adrien Broner, he's always on social media, always posting little videos, thinking he's funny, things like that. Anyway, he decided to go into a local Wendy's this week, and for whatever reason, he decided to offer any one of the employees $10,000 in cash to quit their job right then. And you don't need to look at the video, but nobody took him up on the offer. And the reason this story was near and dear to my heart is because my first job was actually at Wendy's. I think we talked about this on one pod earlier. I didn't last but 2 months at Wendy's. Man, he could have come in there and offered me $50. I would have thrown that hat off so fast, taken that stupid shirt off and those non-slip shoes, black shoes, and man, I've been deuces. Deuces out of there, man. But what about y'all, man? If y'all were that age working at Wendy's, would y'all have taken the $10K?
Man, initially I thought they should take it. But then I really thought about it, and I'm like, well, if you think about it, you may not know who this man is coming in your restaurant. He's just some dude to you. Because I wouldn't know him if I just saw him. Y'all had to tell me who he is. And even after I saw his name on the YouTube, I still didn't know who he was. So, whatever. You don't know who he is. He's coming into your place of employment, talking that yin yang. You would think he's just some drunk. He got some money. Maybe it ain't real. Maybe it is. Who knows? You can't even look like you might take the money because you might get fired. Yeah. So you just don't know. So if you're sure and if Denzel come in there and say it, then maybe. But then it's, do you trust Denzel? So it's not, if you just want to say just about the $10,000, if it's just Wendy's, yes, I'm out. If I'm making less than $10 an hour, I'm out. Because I can go get another job making less than $10 an hour.
You probably making less than $10 an hour if you're working at Wendy's. Believe me, I know this from experience.
Hey, some of them you making quite a bit. Yeah, my stepmother make like 11 something. And Express.
If I'm working at any fast food joint, I'm taking that money quick. Now, keep in mind, a lot of stores, anywhere where they take cash, what do they have? They have those little brown pins by the cash register so you could tell if that 20 is real or not. So I'm going to pull out that little pen, I'm going to swipe that bill and be like, oh, this is good. I'm out. Peace. Because the thing is, with fast food job, I can walk across the street and get another one. It's not hard to find a fast food job. Now, if we're talking about our careers today, I'm sure it would take more than 10,000 for us to walk away like that. But when you're talking about making whatever, $10 an hour, $8 an hour, $7 an hour, that 10,000 is a big deal, and I can still go and get a fast food job. I could drive an Uber. I can do whatever. And
you could do something in the next 3 months. You can get another job and still be in the green.
In the next 3 days, if we're talking about fast food. Yeah, now, probably. Again, where we're now career people, it's a little bit different. 10,000 ain't really going to do it. So how much would it take for y'all today to walk out your job? Not 2 week notice, Like, I'm out right now.
I've told this before. I need $6 million. $6 million. I'm leaving. Look, man.
But that's a ridiculous amount of money. There's no risk on your part about quitting your job, though. The point is, it's got to be an amount with a risk.
Oh, you want?
What's the least amount?
The least amount. 800,000. 800,000.
That's steep, bro.
That's steep, yeah, man. That's the least amount I need. Yes, I need several years of salary before I could roll up out of there. But yeah, 800,000 minimum.
Life changing money. Man, I might say with 150,000, I might walk. I think I'm good with that because I can do something with that. Move, go, do what you want to do for a minute. Get a gig.
Yeah, all expensive. I might do it for give me like a year of my salary and I'm good. Like I'm out.
Really?
And I'm not balling crazy because if I get a year's salary, I know I can find another job within a year. Like
I done been unemployed for 18 months before, so I can't trust that.
But the thing is, again, you can go and do the Uber. You can go and do the little.
I can't even get no unemployment if I quit.
Yeah, but I got $100,000 in the bank, or I got whatever money in the bank. So I'm good. I don't need as much as y'all. But,
I guess it's different for me because it's like I've been with the company so long.
Yeah,
I know how much longer I got. So, so I got I'm looking at pension eventually and all all stuff like that. And I'm healthcare. I'm like, man, no, that it would take me a lot to just have to figure it all out and stuff like that. So I'm like, no, I need a much higher number.
And that's the big deal, that healthcare, because you start talking about going on Cobra or something. That's no joke. That's like $1,000 a month or something, crazy like that. So that's why it changes. The older you get, the more money it's gonna take because you got other things to consider than just that little bread. But if you 17, 18, 20, whatever, oh yeah, let me get that 10K, dog. I'm out of here.
Dog, when I was working at Wendy's, if a dude came in there with 2 blunts, I would have been like, hey, I'm out. Just give me those 2 blunts and I'm good. And a thing of Tanqueray and I'm gone, man.
All right. Well, Ryan, you see I added this other story right after we started. It's boxing related also. Figured this will be a quick one too. But we talked about this in the chat a little bit.
But okay.
So I wanted to talk about this as well. So this was on PBC Premier Boxing Champions. A fighter, 2 heavyweights were set to fight. I think it was, I don't know what day this was. I feel like it was like Thursday or something. Okay, Friday. Yeah. And it was Curtis Harper. My man is, what was he, 13-5, and he was fighting a young prospect, F.A. Ajagba. And this guy is, tall, chiseled guy. He's only had a handful of fights, but he's just been knocking everybody out. So and this is a televised fight. They come to the ring. The referee gives them their instructions. He says, come out clean. Here's the part. Don't punch below this part. It's a low blow. Shake hands, shake them up. Give me a clean fight. Let's go. So they touch gloves. Everything seems like a normal fight. They go back to the corner waiting for the ref to call him in. And Mr. Curtis Harper walked out the ring. He said, Adrien Broner's not here with $10,000 for me right now. He said, so I got to go. So I know both of y'all saw the video. What did y'all think about that? It was really bizarre. We hadn't really seen anything like that, to where he waited until they rang the bell for the fight, and then he just walked out the ropes, walked down the little catwalk, went back to the dressing room.
Hey, I saw a lot of people talking like, yeah, he didn't want that whooping, he didn't want to catch that L. Come on, man, let's not be stupid. This dude is a professional fighter, and I was like, there's no way he's walking out of the ring unless it's about money. Pay me my money.
It might have been about money, but man, I'm looking at the dude. Just when they were showing the 2 dudes standing against each other, I mean, like the dude, he definitely looked like a tomato can. Like he was just there to take an L for the other dude. The other dude was like a good 6'4".
That dude was huge. Yeah,
a good 6'4" and chiseled, and looked like he don't do nothing but take protein shakes and hit that punching bag, that speed bag. That's all that dude does. Another dude, he's a big dude, but he was
Curtis
sloppy
Harper.
big.
Looked like he was just eating at Wendy's. Looked like that's his diet. He just eat at Wendy's all day. I mean, the Baconator.
Exactly, exactly. The extra baconator, man. So yeah. I mean, so I don't know, but I mean, in boxing, this is just. I'm surprised we've never seen it before. I'm sure it probably actually has happened in boxing somewhere. We just don't have video of it or something like that. But it was definitely wild. The thing that tripped me out though was like it wasn't a big fight. I mean, these aren't big names or like that. I mean, the one dude, he's a prospect, he's coming up. But the dude that walked out, and I mean, nobody's ever heard of this guy. Probably his family is the only people that know he boxes. And man, there were people in the crowd like booing him when he's walking, and the way the ring was set with that long like kind of stage, it was kind of elevated too. And that must have been like the longest walk of that dude's life. Like man, like people were just booing at him and stuff like that. And I wasn't expecting nobody to boo because I was like, who knows about these? I mean, like there was some old white lady in the background, and she's just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Right. Yeah, how could you? And I'm like, why do you care, lady? Like,
hey, she all paid her money. She wanted to see that fight. She wanted to see him get knocked out.
Any boxing event, you just there for the main event. You go to any boxing event, you hope you're there for the main event, and you hoping maybe 2 or 3 of the undercards is decent at that, and you're usually not even going to get that. So I don't really know what she was expecting, but that lady was super into it. So I thought it was cool. I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, it was hilarious, and Curtis Harper did say it was about the money. He said he didn't feel like he was getting paid properly for that fight, and so he wanted to make a statement. Of course, the promoter, Ajagba's promoter, said, he looked into his eyes and he was full of fear and he ran out. I feel like it was mainly about the money, but I feel like he also did know that he was there to catch that L. So he knew he was about to get whooped. He was like, look, y'all not paying me enough to fight this big dude, so I'm out of here. So it was interesting. I was trying to cue up the conspiracy music because I almost feel like this is set up.
Hold up, I can get it.
I almost feel it. Nah, it's too late. I almost feel like this is set up by the PBC. Mm-hmm. There you go. Because, like you said, Paul, this was an undercard fight. Nobody really cared about this fight. Nobody was going to watch this fight, really. And now, so many people have tuned in to see the highlights about this. People talking about that. We talking about this on our show. So I feel like the PBC almost set it up to be like, hey, this is a throwaway fight. We're going to pay you to walk out early so we can get some more views. Yeah. That's my conspiracy theory.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Although I'm guessing the dude Harper, he's planning on never boxing again. Because who's gonna? I mean, yeah, his role is to just basically take beatings from these up and coming. That's what he's there for, to fill out cards and stuff like that. I mean, he's not a good boxer. It doesn't look like. Doesn't have a good record.
No, his record ain't bad. It's not terrible. So it's 13-6 now. So he's going in 13-5. So. But he ain't trash, but he's
but he's not a serious boxer. He's just one of these dudes that they put up there to for these young up and comers. So like, but who's gonna take a chance on him to do that? So I mean, like, but it's probably just a side gig for him anyway. So I don't know, but yeah, man. But hey, boxing's a shady sport. There's been a lot. I mean, at least this dude just walked up out of there. I mean, he could have just taken. I mean, there were some dudes, Mike Tyson. I legit think, I think some of the dudes against Mike Tyson, they got hit with that 1-2 real quick, and they were just like, okay, I'm just gonna go. I'd rather just walk out after 1 second than take the 1-2 from Mike Tyson, and I'd be pooping on myself for the next 40 years every day and just punching at the wall for no reason. So I don't know, man. I feel what the dude's talking about, but boxing's shady, and we've seen dudes take dives and a lot shadier stuff than that before. So. That's how it is, man. Boxing's just, I don't know. Gotta go.
All right. Well, it seemed like that was a short and sweet episode. We are below the norm. We are below the average time. Ishmael, give yourself a round of applause. I know you are happy.
That's even with the topic I added at the end. So I saw we were good on time. I'm like, let's go and get it in there.
Yeah. So, let's see. Where can they find us then, Ishmael, since we're leaving early?
You can find the Black Delegates. We are on social media. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Black Delegates. There's an underscore between Black and Delegates. You can follow Paul on Twitter at BoxWinePoppy. Follow Ryan at The Black Ryan. You can follow me on Twitter or Instagram at IshCreates. That's ISH Creates. We're also on Facebook at Black Delegates Pod. You can listen to us. We're now on YouTube as well. So loading the past episodes on there. We'll catch up here this week is my plan. So you can catch us on YouTube also. Paul,
all right.
If people want to help out the podcast, we talked about, we got that 4-star review a little bit earlier. What else can they do?
Hey, go out there to iTunes or wherever you find these podcasts at and rate us and review us and subscribe. That's the main things we want you to do. Rate, review, and subscribe.
And Ryan, I know we talked about this earlier, talked about giving out the email address, and I kind of discouraged it, but I think we should go ahead and put it out there. So
finally,
listeners, if they have some questions, tell them how to get in touch with us via email.
I have been waiting on this email release for the entire time this podcast has been on. Ishmael has been against it. I keep telling this dude, we got to do it because I personally would never, ever contact a podcast if I got to tweet it. I'm just not going to. I need my stuff to be private and you just read it that way. That's it. I don't want the whole world to see it. I don't want the whole world to respond. So you can find us at theblackdelegatespod@gmail.com. theblackdelegatespod@gmail.com. So please email us. Hit us up because, of course, nobody has added me. I'm trying to get some haters, but I haven't said anything controversial. I'm a pretty fair dude, so I don't expect to say nothing controversial. But it would be nice if I had a little back and forth with the listeners. I would like to hear you all's questions or concerns, and we'll read them on the air, and we'll go from there and answer any questions that y'all may have.
Yep. So hit us up via email, hit us up via social media, and tell a friend to tell a friend, as Paul likes to say.
Yep.
Anything else?
That's it.
Yep. Appreciate y'all for listening.
All right. Peace.
Deuces.